Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here on Midday Kentucky. Troy taking some well-deserved time off, so he'll be gone for a few days. We have David filling in. How are you doing, David?
Girls, I feel great to be with y'all. I get a lot of time with you guys over next week.
I know. I'm feeling good because it's Friday. What are you going to do this weekend?
You know what? I have nothing planned but just cleaning and hanging out with the kids this weekend.
Yeah.
I think I want to take them to the pool at the YMCA and do some swimming there. But other than
Indoors,
that,
I hope.
relaxing.
Yeah,
inside,
it's
not
a
outside.
little chilly.
Yeah. What about you?
I think it's kind of like one of those last weekends before the big holiday rush.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like just chill, maybe a little Netflix. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to get a little wild.
And you just reminded me, I need to get the Christmas tree out and start. I
gosh.
have to start early because
Okay.
I'm alone right now without Doug at home and I don't have his help, so it takes me longer to get that
Okay, so
done.
are you going to have it all set up before he gets back?
Yes, I want to
Okay.
have everything ready when he gets back from
when's he getting
Afghanistan. He will be back around December 5th.
Okay.
December 6th sometime.
super
around
exciting.
there. But what are you doing this
can't
weekend?
wait.
Katie?
I don't know yet. My man friend is out of town. What? I know.
I mean, your Friday night is already shot then.
I know. So I think I'm going to do the same thing, Netflix, maybe some Hulu. If anyone has any recommendations on shows to binge, we've been talking about that.
Yeah.
We need some new series. So go over to the Midday Kentucky Facebook page and let us know, because we have nothing better to do. We're going to be
we're just
Netflixing this
chilling.
weekend.
Just chilling.
Well, if you are getting your holiday shopping started, I wanted to let you guys know the Toy Hall of Fame has now expanded. Did you know there's a
No.
Toy Hall of Fame?
But
No.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, 3 new toys were just entered in the 2017 class. They are the Wiffle Ball, 4-game Clue,
Classics.
Okay.
and the paper airplane. So,
What?
Yeah.
is the paper airplane a toy?
I guess it is.
I mean,
I'm thinking of toys that you go to the store and
yeah,
buy. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking mass-produced toys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I can make some really bad airplanes.
Oh, I know. Mine were always. I never could make a good paper airplane. Mine would
Yeah.
like just go like straight down, nosedive right into the ground.
And now that it's 2017, kids that are having toy airplanes now, they don't want the paper airplane. They have
yeah.
like, they're automatic, they fly, they come
Yeah.
back.
We've got drones going
they have
around.
drones,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that is the new
So what
toy.
about board games? I really liked Clue. Do you have a favorite board game?
Ooh, I was really big on the mouse one.
Oh yeah,
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I liked Sorry.
I was gonna say I really like
was
Sorry. I
good.
want to see that get into the Hall
What's
of
the
Fame.
one with the little pump thing that you hit and it pops the little?
I thought that
what
was
is
Oh,
it?
no, that's Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Trouble.
Sorry.
Oh,
Trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, you all know what to get us, so
Oh, that's
just
a good
send some
one.
presents our way.
I am glad that the Wiffle Ball is in the Hall of Fame because I think
Yeah.
that is a classic.
Active.
I mean, do your boys play with, the Wiffle Ball, even baseball
Oh
or
yes,
anything?
yes, and I played with it growing up too with my
Yeah.
brother out
Really?
in the front yard. Yeah, a home run was if we could hit the wiffle ball onto the roof of our house, then that was a home run.
Nice. Yeah, mine was past the
love
tree.
that, the
Like I
wiffle
know
ball.
which tree.
Yes.
So, that was huge. We loved it.
Well, I'm wondering, Lisa, for the boys your age, there's always a few just coveted toys getting
Yeah.
into Christmas. Are you still tuned into the toy craze? Do you know what is it this year
Well-
that parents are rushing to get?
You know what? With my boys right now, they're really into Transformers, but they're also, the big thing is Star Wars, because Star Wars is having it's going to be
It's
coming
making
out
such a
in
big
December,
headline. Yeah.
and they're all excited about it. So they're already starting to gear up on on all of the characters and
Okay.
and all of the little action figures that they want to get and everything. So that's already in the making right now. I see money flying out of my pocket everywhere. But then also they love gaming right now. That
Okay.
seems to be the big thing, and it's online. So they
Yeah.
actually they want like gift cards with money for like
Oh,
for
GameStop
the Play
and
Store.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean that's what they want. It's
Yeah.
really interesting, and it's both my 13-year-old and my 8-year-old is doing that too. So even that young, they're already wanting to do that.
Gaming
so.
hard.
I remember last year, what was the big toy? It was the hatchling?
The
Or-
hatchling. Oh,
I don't know what it
yes.
was called, but it kind of looked like a hatching Furby or
Yeah.
something. I accidentally waited in line at Target for probably an hour thinking it was the line to get into the store. And I got near the front and realized I'd been waiting in line for
For a
this Furby
hatchling?
toy.
Did
So
you
did
get
you buy
one?
it?
No, I should have, because then
should
I
have.
realized
Could've
people were
flipped
marking
it.
them up to like $400 and it was a $50 toy, and I was up at
Oh,
the
wow.
front.
It always
I don't know.
happens. People get crazy
does.
around
I
this
hope
time.
my kids can go back to just the wiffle ball because I don't want to buy a $400 toy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The old bats. Get those wiffle balls ready.
Yeah, well, speaking of kids, another topic I really wanted to get, Lisa, your take on this. This is spying on kids. There are now some new apps coming out about tracking your kids' technology use.
Yes.
And this article was really interesting, talking about what are the boundaries between protecting your children and letting them have that freedom? Should you go through their internet searches? Should you read their text messages?
Yes, yes,
And at
yes.
what age? And at what age? But should they know you're doing it? And at
Yes.
what age would you stop? So I guess, how do you deal with your age? They're how old again?
Well, they're 13
Okay.
and 8.
All right.
So, right now, I feel like with them, and I do happen to see what they do search because their device syncs with my phone. So I'm able to, when I pull up on YouTube, they're big on YouTube. That's their thing. So I can see what they've been viewing on YouTube. Actually, my 8-year-old had a cartoon that he was starting to watch that did have some questionable content.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that my niece and I were actually talking about, and she informed me about this cartoon. And I was like, oh, I just saw that on my phone or something like that. I looked over, my son was in the living room, and he was looking over the couch at me when he heard the name of I can't remember, Morty or something, I don't know what it was. But he was like looking, all of a sudden, as soon as I said that, he he just slid down. It was too funny.
Just
but
got
yeah.
caught.
Yeah, so he got caught red-handed. And yeah, I don't mind if they know that I'm spying on them and watching, what they're
What do you think
looking
about
at right
texting, though? Messaging friends. Would
now.
you
They don't
read
do
that?
that. They don't do that. I'm not into that yet with my kids.
You've got to be getting close to 13.
I know.
Even online messenger. Would you look at that?
Yes, I would. I
Well,
would.
I think we use the word spying. And
Yeah.
it's like you're a good parent. That's what it's not spying. It's
Yeah.
like
See, that's what I think.
you're watching over your kids. A
Right.
lot of it's for protection because we were
Right.
talking about this earlier, and it's like, the internet's just this open access to everything.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
they're-
scary.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, who's putting those limitations on our kids if you're not?
Right.
So I think you're actually watching over your kid and protecting them. I think
Yeah.
spying gets to be. It's like, I think it's good to have that open dialogue though, and let them know it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna look at everything you look at, so just know that.
So, if you had a 16-year-old,
Right.
you would read his or her text messages?
No, I mean that scares me. Gosh.
But
that
I know
just
a
scared
lot
me.
of parents that say,
Yeah.
if I'm still paying for your cell phone, I
Then
can read your messages.
That's right.
But I
think,
don't know.
The
I think
16 is a
that-
really dangerous
Yes,
age
it is.
too, right?
It is.
Because like hormones are just kicked
Yes.
up, and you're still not really. You think you know everything, and you don't.
I want them to know that I can look at
Okay.
it at any given moment whenever I want to.
Spot checks.
And so be
Yeah.
watchful of what you're sending to your friends. And because if you're sending them something that you don't want me to see,
Yeah.
chances are I'm going to see it.
And I think
Would
I
you
would
look?
do it. I
Yeah.
would. And especially because it's not even maybe they're sending something bad or their friends are. You never know who's communicating with them. And maybe
Right.
the child thinks it's totally innocent. And you could catch something that
Yeah.
maybe someone, an
predator.
adult,
A predator.
shouldn't be
Mhm.
contacting them. So it might not be them, misbehaving. It could just be
Right.
parenting, I
Again,
guess. I don't know.
Exactly. I know.
protection.
Yeah.
Protection.
Yep.
When they get older though, that's when it really gets racy. I think
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like you're 16 and I know you're going to be exposed to a lot of things, but
And you
man,
know
Yeah, I
what?
think you gotta look.
And plus, these kids are cutting their teeth on technology.
Yeah.
It's not like my generation where it was all kind of new and we're, kind of fumbling our way through it. They know this stuff. So even with you watching them and doing all that, they're still going to find there's going to be backdoor ways to get
Yeah.
things sneaky done. And so you as a parent, you've got to do what you can do and watch what you can watch at this point. And, because there's always going to be something else that you're not aware of.
I like that, Lisa, what you said, and it's probably best that she has the
Yeah.
best insight because she's the
Yeah.
only parent
Good
here.
job,
But I like
Mom.
what you said, giving them the freedom to do what they want, but they need to know that you could look just
Yes.
to keep them in line. I
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, the next story, Lisa, you brought something interesting to the table today. This is about FaceTiming doctors. What's this about?
Well, they're using new technology now to FaceTime with your doctor. And instead of having to wait 2 weeks to get an appointment for your doctor, you can see the doctor within minutes on your phone.
I love this.
Yeah.
And they are already test trialing this in Europe, but also David was even mentioning to me on the break that they're
It's
already
going
doing
on.
it. Yeah, they're already doing it.
Brandy utilizes this function with her insurance company, and she's used it multiple times, like where she had like a sinus infection or something like that, and just needed them to call in a prescription for her.
Right,
and
right.
it worked out. She was like, it's so nice. You don't have to go wait somewhere. You don't have to go drive somewhere. They called it in, boom, it happens. We're trying to utilize this in our clinics.
you are?
Yeah, because it's it's just so much more convenient. And they talked, Lisa and I were talking about, it's a lot less stressful for the doctors as well. It's like they go in a room and they're just able to hit so many different people, and it's just, you don't have, we were talking about the administrative, you don't have somebody being like, hey.
Yeah.
So.
Because they have time limits. These doctors, I mean,
yeah.
when they have to see so many patients a day, at least 40 patients a day, let's say, in order to hit their budgets, to pay for their facility, to pay for their staff, to pay for the equipment, everything.
Yeah.
And so they know, they've got to make hay while the sun shines. When they're in that room, they've got about 15 minutes max that they can give. That it does take the pressure off if the demand's not there. But we were talking also, how are they going to meet those demands then if they're already, if they're stretched so thin that they have to see 40 patients a day? What if people start taking on this it's called a GP at hand is what it's called. But what if they start FaceTiming more and less patients are seeing doctors? Then all of a sudden it changes that whole dynamic to where they're not going to be able to afford to keep that facility if they don't have enough patients coming in the door.
Oh,
that's true. You know what I mean? What are your
I would
guys'
hope
thoughts?
that, if the doctor is still taking the time to see you, that you should be your copay, and then your insurance also have to pay their part of that. I like it for like primary care little issues, because a lot of times if you have the cold or just something minor, you know what you need to, or maybe a little prescription cream. Nothing for anything serious, but I like some of those just littler things. If it's a doctor, I think that you've seen before, you've established a relationship.
That was a big thing.
I think it's fine, and it's not maybe a controlled substance.
Because so many people will say to us, well, Dr. blah, blah, blah has seen me for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Right.
They know my body.
Yeah.
So if something does kind of happen that's a little crazy, they recognize it. 'Cause they're
Yes.
like, that's not normal. We've been following you.
Yes.
Versus if you get a doctor who's like, okay, let me look at your history for the last 10 years, it can get kind of
I love it. I think you can streamline things a little.
Exactly.
It's going to be a benefit.
And not everybody qualifies for it either. I mean, frailty was one of them for older patients, and that kind of talks to those patients that have been seeing that doctor for a long time. Pregnancy and also mental health conditions would not qualify for this type of service. But any smaller things,
I like that. Thanks for bringing that here, Lisa. And David, we're happy that you brought this topic today, because now this is going to be on our mind. It's always so hard to shop for men, and you have some advice for us, right?
All right. Well,
maybe I'll do that this weekend.
The big thing is that men aren't too hard to shop for, because
they are.
no, we aren't. We're very easy. We're very practical. Sometimes it's you want to get that magical gift, but really, let's keep it simple. I'm going to tell you guys what so many of my friends love is the fancy brown liquor. Whether it's a nice bourbon or nice scotch, like my buddies will go to, whether it's like local Kroger's, local liquor store, when they get in one of those special editions, and they go nuts over them.
It seems so impersonal.
I know, but
I'm just thinking, we really like wine. If I got a bottle of wine as a gift, even if it was a really nice bottle of wine, and that's what I got from someone, my boyfriend, I would be like, oh, great, cool.
You could literally hear the music go, wah, wah.
I know, I'd be like, oh, cool, this is great, but I would be like.
You've got to think with men, like there is a bourbon culture. And they really enjoy like the culture it brings.
Okay.
Another big thing, and this is a dangerous one though. It's something practical. We had windshield wipers on here. Here's the big thing. I know you're like really, but like guys are constantly kind of typically taking on those types of roles. And it's nice that if you all do this, I want you to go all the way and get them installed. Okay?
Okay, David, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get Bobby windshield wipers for a gift. And,
that's a dangerous
I'm going to film his reaction. So
that is a dangerous one. Practical for me is like a nice knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a fun one, a culinary adventure.
Oh, I like that.
So, it's like going out and doing something a little off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And, a lot of these places you can have fun with.
Yeah.
Here's the next one, and I know you all are going to, this is what I was going to get Brandy.
Don't say it, David.
A gaming system, okay?
No.
I told Brandy, I was like, the new
man.
Xbox is coming out. I know this is what you want for the holidays. I got you, babe.
If you really want to be isolated away from your loved one,
when you guys do get out, we're like, okay, they're gone. It's time to game.
Oh, boy.
Here's the last one. Kind of bring out the fun kid in you. It's Legos. All right?
Legos for adults?
Yes.
Really?
Listen, guys.
Like a pack that will make something like that, or just like a pack of Legos?
Just like, it can be a good, like maybe you're doing like a little stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
Legos are just so much fun. They never get old. And you know what? It's nice. Like, it's like coloring. It just kind of takes you away from like the everyday stress.
Everyone is, all our production assistants are
Our production-
giving
listen,
you the eye. So do you still play with Legos?
If I'm with some kids, I'll rock some Legos out. All right, I'm not
I do
above
like
it.
that. Legos are pretty fun.
They are fun.
Well, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're doing another segment of our favorite things. You know mine are really good deals that you have to check out. Plus, a little later in the show, we have much more Midday Kentucky coming up.